Hi guys, hi, hope everybody's doing really well. I'm back for another video, a quick catch up of some finds over the last few weeks. And yeah, just an update with my mum. Some of you may know, she suffered a fracture in her foot, so has been fairly immobile for a while. She is now in a boot, so she's starting to become a bit more mobile, getting around. Obviously, the weather's been great this week here in the UK, so she's been out in the garden. It's all I can do to kind of contain and stop her sort of racing around in inverted commas, because she's obviously been suffering with a bit of cabin fever, and now she's found her legs again. She's obviously wanting to remedy all that make for all that time she's been sat in the chair, bless her. So, but yeah, she's on the mend, and it's looking positive, which is good. So yeah, I've been away this week down to my sister's flat. My sister came and stayed here just to keep an eye on my mum, and had a really nice week. Didn't get to do any record shopping. I think there's only one record shop in the vicinity, which is in Boscastle, called Snoopy's, which I went to last year, and it was all right. Not a particularly great experience. I went to get a Benz yesterday. Just picked up the 2 records, and then the other 4 that I'm going to show are kind of reissues that new reissues that I've picked up online. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'll show the online finds first. So the first 2 are by a band that I've really liked for years and just never got round to finding any of their music. Their debut album still eludes me, but I think pretty much the rest of their catalogue has been reissued. So yeah, I was glad to pick these up. So the first one is this. This is Foxygen, and this is Take the Kids Off Broadway. So yeah, for those not familiar, Foxygen, they're a Californian duo, multi-instrumental instrumentalists, sort of similar along the lines of like the Lemon Twigs, but kind of probably even more eclectic. They do sort of power pop, soul, dance, rock, metal, punk. Just they throw everything into the mix, and they do it really well, and do it in their kind of own inimitable style. So yeah, really pleased to pick this one up. So this is their second album from 2011, and like the first album, it kind of follows on, where it's kind of all the tracks kind of segue into one another, change fairly quickly. Not quite as quick as as the debut album, but still sort of at a bit of a breakneck pace. As I say, they play all the instruments themselves. So yeah, really talented guys. So I don't think there's anything in this, and it's just on ordinary black vinyl. So pleased to get that one. And then this one I think was a kind of commercially quite successful for them. This was the follow-up to that album from 2013. This is We Are the 21st Century Ambassadors of Peace and Magic. And out of the 2, this is probably my favourite. I like the format of the previous album, but for me it's just not quite as good as the debut. But this is great. This is quite produced, and a little bit more commercial. Hence, I guess the why it sort of got the popularity that it did. I think the singles were San Francisco, I think Shuggy off this. Yeah, it's just quite quite lush in parts with the production. Really nice listen if you're not familiar with them. So I think they did another 3 albums after this one. I think their last album was 2019, and then I think Jonathan Rado announced on Instagram that they were splitting up in 2022, as they haven't recorded anything else since. But I think they did do a sort of reunion concert in America in 2013 as a kind of one-off. But yeah, so that's Foxygen. Next one is a compilation album that came out in 2021. I think there's a few of these in the series. This is Pop Psychedelic. So this is best of French psychedelic pop, recorded between 1964 and 2019. So it's a bit of an odd mix because it's a double album, which is on yellow vinyl. I think the other one's the same. Yep. So yeah, it's a double album compilation. The first 3 sides are all French artists from the 60s and early 70s. And then side D is sort of modern, sort of psychedelic pop artists from the 90s. So you got Stereolab, Sybil's Reverie, Don't Be Light, Air, and Psych Rock, which is Malpassa Mix by Fatboy Slim by Pierre Henry. All those tracks are really, really good. But for me, it would have been better for them maybe to have been on a separate compilation, because for me the continuity is just broken up a little bit with the acts, because of the time period and the era. I think it would have been better to have done the sort of the more contemporary acts, later acts, on a sort of, and do a separate compilation. And there may well be one in this series. I don't know. So I think there are a couple from the same label. So, but it's really, really good. It's a great album. The songs, I was familiar with some of them. There was a lot that I wasn't, though. So it starts off with Contact, Brigitte Bardot. There's a couple of hers on here. Laissez tomber les filles. We've got Fabien de Sol, Anna Karina, that's great. Roller Girl, Dreams, L'Épée, Harley Davidson, Brigitte Bardot again. And then, Serge Gainsbourg, Requiem, and Con, from the film La Pacha, which I'm not familiar with. And then that side ends with EVA, Jean-Jacques Perry, which I think has been sampled and used on several pop hits since, sort of various sort of DJ dance mixes and so on. But yeah, all in all, really, really good listen. Just checking, no, there's no inner sleeves or anything, so it's just the 2 coloured vinyl records. But it wasn't expensive. I think it was about 24 quid, something like that, which I thought for a double album, it's pretty good. So yeah, happy with that one. Okay. And then I picked this up because I'd just been sort of sick of looking for a decent original copy, and I didn't really want to pay sort of 40-50 quid for it, but found this one online. So this is Never Neverland, the Pink Fairies, of course. Wonderful kind of proto-punk power pop, just a fantastic listen. This was a really, really cheap reissue. So cheap that it was the point I was wondering whether to actually buy it and thinking, is this going to be any good? To be fair, I still haven't actually got around to spinning it, so the jury's still out as to whether it's going to be sonically okay or not. It didn't come in a polyline sleeve, so the first thing that I did was just take it out of the horrible scratchy paper sleeve and put it straight into a polyline sleeve. So yeah, no download card, no inner, nothing, cheap as chips, but yeah, for 14 quid, fingers crossed it'll sound decent. So that's a reissue of Neverland by the Pink Fairies. Okay, then these are the two that I picked up from Ben's yesterday. Really, really pleased to get this. I believe this was an old copy from Ben's collection that he was letting go. So this is the Black Swan, Bert Jansch. So this is reissue on Earth Records of his 2006 final studio album, which I didn't have. The lyric in it, and I think it's just on ordinary. Oh no, it's on grey vinyl. I did see an original copy of this online, but it was quite expensive. So, and I don't think a reissue recently has been available. I've not been able to find one. So when I saw this at Ben's, I was happy to snag it and pick it up. I believe that was the original artwork for the original cover. I think there's, as usual with Earth Record recordings, there's a little postcard insert as well, which is nice. And yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of Earth Records issues. They're great, a really good label. They just, you know, they especially folk, you know, and folk artists from the 60s and 70s. They just do really, really good quality reissues. Never been let down by them. So yeah, really pleased. But yeah, I think there's all kinds of people showing up playing on this one. I think Johnny Marr was playing on this as well. I think he toured with him. Was touring with him just prior to his death in 2011. So, but yeah, the Black Swan's lovely. He does a great Katie Crawl, really nice. My Pocket's Empty, or as I knew, Empty Pocket Blues, from the incredible string band that Clive Palmer did on the first album. It's called here is My Pocket's Empty. It's a traditional song anyway. Obviously, wonderful version of his own song, Woman Like You, that I think he wrote with Anne Briggs. Magdalena's Dance. Yeah, lovely, lovely record, and a terrific swan song, no pun intended, for Bert as a wonderful, wonderful artist, innovative artist. So yeah, really pleased with that. And the last one's just an upgrade copy because it was just so minty. So yeah, Volunteers, Jefferson Airplane doesn't need any introduction. Classic 1969 album, their last really classic album, in my opinion anyway. So yeah, it was a bit beaten mine and it didn't sound particularly good. I found that RCA Victor copies of this usually sound quite quiet, although admittedly I think the other copy I've had was a US copy, so this one is a UK stereo copy, so hopefully it'll sound better. If I ever found like a Japanese pressing or something of this, or a modern remastered version of it, I would probably buy it, because it is my favorite Airplane album. So yeah, but what a great record it is. We Can Be Together, the wonderful Ewan McCauken, Good Shepherd, Farm, Wooden Ships with Stephen Stills, Song for All Seasons. You got all the sort of Laurel Canyon people playing on here: Stephen Stills, Jerry Garcia, David Crosby. Fabulous stuff. Wonderful. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, hope you're all enjoying the lovely warm weather. I believe it's set to continue, so that's all good. And yeah, until the next time, I'll bid you farewell. And yeah, have a great whatever's left of Sunday, whatever you're doing. Enjoy the weather. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.